see now, they have gone into that meeting. We know that immediately once this is done, they are expected then to move this part of this ceremony. It will then head, of course, to the University of Pretoria. And you're right there, Tammy. We saw a very large delegation from the South African cabinet. Of course, we saw there the Health Minister, Zweli Mkhize, as he's one of the people who are, of course, with the President. There is, of course, the Home Affairs Minister as well. And we also saw there the Higher Education Minister, as well as the Acting Minister in the Presidency. So it is going to be a very long afternoon for these two counterparts as they meet here today. But of course it doesn't end here. As I said much earlier on, Tammy, we will then proceed to the University of Pretoria, where issues around COVID-19 will be discussed.
Is there an expectation, Mbali, for a presentation by the President of the Republic at any point?
Well, Tammy, I'm battling to hear you there. But as I said, Tammy, as you know, this meeting gets underway. You saw there the President of France being received by President Ramaphosa. And of course, while South Africa kicks off its vaccination process, we know that we are, of course, in the second week of the vaccine. So it's quite important that while they talk about bilateral issues and issues around world peace, Tammy, we know that one thing that has gripped the nation, it has gripped the world, is of course the issues around COVID-19. So once the proceedings are done here, we are expecting a press briefing that will be done. It will, of course, we will then get a chance to speak to the President, and once that is done, Tammy, will then proceed to the University of Pretoria.
Well, thank you very much, Mbali. You really did inadvertently answer that one question, whether or not the President is expected to address South Africans. But as you're saying, that will happen post the meeting in a little while. Do we know what the agenda is at the University of Pretoria and what that particular visit is supposed to showcase?
Well, Tammy, we know that it is, of course, the issues around COVID-19 and how, South Africa is dealing, with, of course, this pandemic. We know that there have been issues around getting off the ground, the issues around how people will be vaccinated. We know that when the country began its vaccine program, it was, of course, those, frontline workers who, of course, then, put into focus there. Those were the people that the country decided that it was quite important that healthcare workers should be the ones who receive the vaccine. We know that during the second phase now of the vaccination process in the country, it is, of course, the elderly, those above 60. We also know that there is the issue around a third wave and a third spike. You've just mentioned there, saying that we are expecting President Cyril Ramaphosa, while we deal with the visit from the French president, there is also this issue, Tammy, around when will the President of South Africa address the nation. We know that earlier in the week there was, of course, the cabinet meeting, so we are expecting in the next day or so, where we will see President Cyril Ramaphosa talk to the issues around the third wave and the third spike that we are now currently seeing in the country. And as they go to the University of Pretoria, we know that the key focus there is, of course, COVID-19, how the country is dealing with it, how is France dealing with it, and how that will transcend into Africa.